All right, so now we're trying to solve a system of equations by elimination. We'll skip over the warm-ups. This is what was on the last video. Okay, to solve a system of equations by elimination, first you multiply one or both equations by a number to result in two equations that contain opposite terms. We'll see what that means in a minute. Add the equations, eliminating one variable, then solve the equation. Like once you do this, it's basically just like substitution. If you are multiplying by one equation, if you're multiplying one equation by -1 or by a negative number, just for the record, Delta Math calls this subtraction. We call it addition. It doesn't matter. But if, like I was saying, I'll show you in just a second, the way Delta Math does it, am I adding these or am I subtracting these? And so we'll talk about that. Substitute to solve for the other variable. So I look at this. My thought is, if this one of these threes were negative, then when I add it all together, the y's would go away. I'd end up with 0y. So just because the way my brain works, I'm going to multiply this bottom one by -1. So multiply this by -1, and you multiply everything. When you multiply by -1, you're just changing all the signs. So now I'm going to take the two equations, bringing all this down here, but with my change signs, and now you just add everything up. 5 plus -8 is -3. 3 minus 3, 0. -19 plus 25, 6. So obviously this just goes away. I don't need any more, and I'm down to one variable. I can divide both sides by -3 and get that x is -2. And now again, take that back into any one of these equations. So I'm just going to take the top one. Neither one of these looks like it's particularly easier than the other. And I'm going to take this and put it in there, which leaves me with only a y variable, which I can then solve for. Add 10 to both sides, divide by 3, and get -3. So my solution is x is -2 and y is -3. Okay. Let's try another one here. Now it's, by the way, this is that one, just for the record, when we say multiply -1, what Delta Math is going to say is you're just subtracting this. So when you're asked for an answer, what are you going to do, and the same signs, then you say, I'm going to subtract to eliminate y. If they were different signs, this was already positive and this was positive and this was already negative, you'd say I'd add addition to eliminate y. So multiplying by -1 is the same as just subtracting the second one. Okay. But now it gets a little hairier. Here I don't have anything that I can just change the sign to, but I see there's nothing I can multiply 6 by to get 8. But if I multiply 3 by 2, I'm going to get +6, which will cancel out my x's. So I'm going to multiply the entire bottom one by 2. So my top one stayed the same. This just stayed the same. But then I multiplied 2 times that, 2 times that, and 2 times that to get a +6, +12, 72. And now I can add up because these will cancel out nice and neat for us. And -8 plus 12 is 4. -44 plus 72 is 28. Divide by 4, y is 7. I went and plugged 7 back in here just because I like all the positive numbers, not having to deal with the negatives. But again, you could plug it into the original equation if you wanted to. I'm going to use this one. So 3x plus 42 is 36. Subtract 42. 3x is negative 6. So x is negative 2. So our answers are negative 2, negative 6. Make sure you put those in the right order. You're not always solving for x at first and then y. Sometimes we work backwards. Okay, this one's a little trickier, but I'm going to have you try it, pause it here, work it out, and come back and check your answers. Okay, so there's nothing here where there's nothing I can multiply 5 by to get 8, nothing I can multiply 2 by to get 3 or vice versa. But I do see that these signs are already opposite of each other. So I'm going to try to make the y's cancel out. And what I'm going to do is multiply the top equation by 2 and the bottom equation by 3. That will then give me both of those being a positive and negative 6. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times. You can, like I could have multiplied top and bottom, the bottom by 5, or top by 5 and the bottom by 8. One of them would just have to be negative to get the signs to change. But now, I can just work it from here. So my 6's will cancel out. That's the whole point. That's the elimination part. So 16 plus 15 is 31. Negative 22 plus negative 9 is negative 31. So x is negative 1. I chose to plug that into the one with all positive numbers, even though it's going to make it negative. So I get negative 5 plus 2y equals negative 3. Add 5 to both sides. Divide by 2. And y is 1. So I get negative 1 and 1. Okay, we're going to cover this real quick. Try these real quick. Try the first one real quick and see what happens. Pause it here, come back and check your answers. Okay. I see I could turn 2 into 6, or I could turn 3 into 9. It would be multiplying by negative 3 because I want the signs to change, so when I add them together. So I multiply the top by negative 3. And so I get negative 6x minus 9y equals negative 15. Now when I start adding everything up, everything just cancels out. So what does that mean? It means they're the same line. There's infinitely many solutions here. This is called a tautology. If you get that, the number equals itself, then there are infinite solutions. Let's try this one. I see I could probably match these up pretty good. So I'm going to multiply the bottom one by 2. And on the left, everything cancels out. 2x minus 2x, negative 12y plus 12y. But then 3 and negative 18 gives me negative 15. So I have 0 equals negative 15. What that means, that cannot possibly be true. There's no solution. So that's what makes this a little bit different. Okay. That's just a different, unique circumstance there. That's it for this one. We got one more short one after this. Good luck.